Hello, this is an individual. I already started shuffling, and the Queen of Cups pops out along with the Eight of Cups. Not a likely pair here. Are you going through some hard times in love? Feeling a little bit of despair, indolence, some rocky relationships. Not all bad, but we have the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups here. Interesting. A lot of back and forth energy here. I'm feeling. You're torn. You feel torn in how you feel naturally, and how your mind, and what your mind is telling you. But you're also torn because you know that you're not the only one on his mind. The Eight of Wands, 2 eights now. I think you're torn because you have feelings. You have a lot of feelings as the Queen of Cups. You have a ton of feelings, actually. And I think you're having a hard time dealing with heart over mind matters. Sometimes you love too much, and there's some red flags that just are just popping out of you at you, and you refuse to look at them because you just want to feel this, you feel like that. So you tend to ignore red flags that might be right in front of you, meaning this man shares his wand with plenty. We have the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Cups, so he kind of gets around. And this is why you feel like this sort of despair, is because your feelings, as the Queen of Cups, you have lots of feelings. Your feelings are getting caught up in the wrong energy. Do you have a crush on a playboy? Are you getting swept up in his game that he plays with everybody? So we have the Ten of Cups. Interesting. So we have the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups coming here. You're looking for long-term love. You're looking for long-term love at this point in time. And you're really thinking about your end goals and what you want. Maybe you're looking at a person that is definitely not good for you, it seems like, but you're just in this state of wanting love so bad that you are ignoring red flags, my dear. Let's pull some other cards here. We've all been there before, and eventually, hopefully, you learn how to decipher your heart. Your heart's matters from your mind's matters. Sometimes you can't control your heart, but if it's not your heart and it's more of your groins, let's say, I'm going to say that it can get you into trouble with the wrong person. If you share your energy with a playboy that is kind of just running game on everyone, you're gonna get caught up in this like cloudy gray area energy, and you're always gonna be left unknowing, questioning more and more. You'll never feel like you have enough information when you can feel like you are rest assured, kind of thing. It's always like, well, what if, but he has to, right? It's kind of like you're like talking yourself into yeah, exactly. The Princess of Wands would do this. You know, I'll just take myself as an example so I don't blame anyone else. But when you're a younger girl, when I was a younger type of more immature, let's say, I would give people more excuses for what they really deserved because I was caught up in being this like cute, fiery, young, spunky, you know, learning how to walk in my sexual power kind of feeling, you know, and that's kind of what the Princess of Wands is. Like, she knows that she's sexy and that there's power behind it. Like when a girl first learns that her sexuality has a tremendous amount of power. Some girls abuse it, some girls misuse it, some girls direct it in ways that get them in trouble. I think you've been kind of thinking like that with this, whoever has your attention, you're kind of just ignoring the red flags because you just want to feel this feeling that you don't usually feel a lot. So when, you know, a new feeling comes up where you actually have some sort of feelings for someone, you have to look at the red flags that you might be overlooking. You really have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, are there red flags here? Am I ignoring with this person? You know, maybe every time you see them, they're with someone new, you know, and you're just like, is this what I'm really seeing? Yeah, it's really what you're seeing, you know? It's kind of like that. Yeah, you're judging the whole situation. You really don't know if your feelings or your mind is telling you the truth. Your mind might be saying, step away, this is kind of a dangerous scenario. This man kind of talks to a lot of people. You know, he's not in it for love, he's in it for lust. And you as Queen of Cups are kind of different in your approach to love. Like, you actually want love. You want an abundance of love, and you know how to give it, and you know how to receive it. And it's just a different type of love, a different type of lifestyle too. I think you're looking at the scenario and trying to decipher what to do with yourself. The Queen of Wands. Two queens, the Wands and the Cups. Lots of sexuality, lots of attraction. I think that you're really thinking about, you know, love, lust, you know, a whole lifestyle together with the Ten of Cups too. And you're like judging whoever you have your attention on at this time. You're trying to figure out what is going on and why there's kind of like a discord between your heart and your mind. There's the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck. Might as well mention that. So I think that you are trying to maybe think of other ways around this issue. Like, you've been thinking one way, and maybe you're trying to question yourself on everything, you know, and just see if there's like some other perspective that you're missing with this person. But I would say, even if your mind can't figure out exactly what might be off with somebody, your body usually tells you ahead of time. You might feel intuitive feelings such as sweatiness, or, you know, a lot of people have different kinds of feelings, but you can feel sweaty, you can have butterflies in your stomach, or tingly feelings down your back, or goosebumps, or chills. Like, you know, some people just have different feelings when their intuition kicks in. So I would say, if you don't know the answer in a more logical sense, I would say keep everything with your intuition in check, because eventually the logic will come out. I think that you're being tempted sexually by someone, and he's definitely a player, and you're just kind of like another number, another trophy, another escapade. and he sees you as the Queen of Cups as like an interesting trophy to achieve, but he sees you as nothing more as that. You have a lot more respectful love to give and offer. You're not looking for this kind of immature way of loving someone with just sexuality and that's it. There's no other layers involved. You're much more evolved than that. But this person that has your attention is very sexual, and he's kind of keeping you in that mind frame a lot. You have a lot of lustful feelings for him, and that might not be a false feeling, but I think that you're getting caught up in a mirage of what could be with the Ten of Cups. You know, as the Princess of Wands. Okay, so we have the Princess and the Queen of Wands here. I think that you're starting to turn a new leaf over with how you think, but I think you were initially caught up in love or lust with this person, and you're starting to now kind of gain some more realization with judgment. And the Queen of Wands, you're kind of stepping up your intellect. You are becoming more of a woman, you know, which is more respectful, a little bit more intimidating, but is worth the challenge. You know, if you're a real man, let's say, that's looking for a match that's more out of this world, you want a woman that can give you a run for your money, and you like that about them. You respect that about them. Some other people that are more low vibrational men might not like that at all, that you make them think or that you check them. They might just want someone that doesn't say peep or that they can control. That is kind of like a yes man, yes woman, you know, or just like a slave in a sense, that never challenges them in any way. So it really will tell the character of the person. But I think while you're leveling up your smarts about dating and why you might be attracted to this person at this time, I think, you know, he's obviously staying busy with other things. Yeah. I think you're being distracted. That's the word. That's the right word. I think you're being distracted by a sexual escapade that's kind of imaginary or more, what's the word? Just more dreamlike. There's more than I was getting at. Speak, write, create. The world needs to hear your song. So this is a card that represents your throat chakra. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're figuring out in this scenario with this pleasurable man that gets around, you know, I think the Swiftness card is telling me that you're going to come in with a message, or at least you're going to speak your truth, you know, or maybe you're going to put your foot down a little bit on your standards. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, I think after a girl could be tempted and swayed and persuaded with a player-like energy for quite some time, sometimes too long. If you're young or you're immature or you don't know what's really happening, but once you finally realize that you're being played, females act differently in those scenarios. And I think in this scenario with this card, I'm getting that just speak your mind in the Queen of Cups kind of way, coming from love, coming from real love. You know, you're not coming in a swords kind of way, looking to fight. You're coming just to connect. You know, and you can politely say no to somebody that isn't offering you what you want, right? You might want this, but there's also this attached. There's a lot of unknowing. There's too many cups in the kitchen. There's too many people that he's partying with, let's say. So it's okay to actually say that. You know, if this person comes to you and they're like, well, what's up? Why are you holding back? You can just politely, eloquently, softly, lovingly say, I'm not into players. I deserve, I want, I would like to have love, 10 of Cups love, you know, wealth. That also involves pleasure, but that's just one rung to the wheel of love. Love encompasses so much more than pleasure. It's not just pleasure. Just pleasure gets boring. You know, everyone gets boring after a while. When, you know, ask any married couple. What keeps people alive is the love and the layers beyond that. That's what keeps the pleasure and the spark alive for a long time. You know, humans really aren't supposed to want to have that, like, sexual feeling more than 9 to 12 months. And why do you think that is? You know, it's meant so we could stay together while we procreate and have very loving feelings, and 4 different types of hormones pumping, you know, in our brains, just like the same if someone is doing cocaine. We have 4 different hormones that are raging when we are in love with somebody, and in this kind of feeling of ecstasy. You know, you actually are in ecstasy. You are on the love drugs of your own body, and it's supposed to wear off. You know, it was meant to keep a man, you know, and a woman interconnected while she's pregnant. And once it wears off, you know, there's either going to be love there because there's mutual respect and understanding, and you probably went through a lot together, and there's connectedness and history now. And that's what creates the love and respect that continues forward on a deeper level, or you realize that you just hate each other. Your broken wings are mending. Relax and know that you are receiving a miraculous gift of healing. So you might be healing at this time anyway, and you don't want to mess around with the wrong energy. I'm telling you, whenever you decide to have relations, let's say, with somebody, you take, as a female, you are a receptive energy by nature, and you're going to take on whatever energy is being, let's say, thrown at you. Let's just say it like that. So it's kind of like you're taking in the spirit of the person that you're sleeping with. So you have to tread lightly, because male or female, you're combining spirits and energies and DNA and a lot of intimate things with someone just way beyond the physical compartment of being intimate. It's way beyond that. You're sharing a lot of information with someone. So if someone is sharing their cups with like a ton of cups, right? He has a lot of mixed up energy going on in him, and it's really hard to tell who you really are when you have so many other types of forces interfering with your equilibrium. Instead of just having, you know, intimate relations with one person and then sharing that energy together and becoming a very special energy together, you're sharing it with a ton of people. It's so messed up. It's kind of like messed up in the way where it's like there's so many, it's like too much energy mixed up together in a bottle, right? It's just too much all together, and it can get confusing, diluted. So I think while you're healing, you might have been going through some stuff anyway, and maybe that's why you might have been attracted to old ways or old energies or past types of lovers. Maybe you've realized in the past that you've always been attracted to one type of energy in a different person. You know, it's just like another package, but the same kind of energy. And until you really learn the lesson of why you're attracting or accepting this type of energy in your life, or why you're attracted to it still, you'll never be able to change it until you can figure out why you're attracted to this kind of energy. Maybe you're attracted to the guy that you just can't get. You know, maybe you're attracted to players because you have something to prove. Maybe you're attracted, to the chase. Or maybe you just don't even know what you want. You're just attracted to everything and everyone because you really have no standards. There's a million reasons why, and you have to really look at what happened during your childhood with your primary caretakers that where they didn't give you what you needed growing up, and that type of energy of what you didn't get growing up is what you seek in every relationship going forward in your life. So until you can figure out, say, if I was constantly attracted to the same type of personality of narcissistic personality because I grew up in a very narcissistic environment, right? That's all I knew. Of course, that's something I didn't get was love and attention, and there was a lot of neglect involved. So what did I always attract to growing up? Just neglectful matches that were never truly there and never really wanted me for the right reasons, right? So how do I fix that, right? I have to learn how to accept more for myself, I can't accept, once someone shows you a red flag of them being a narcissist, for example, you have to just take the red flag for what it is. As it could be very disappointing. You could be so disappointed by, finding out this person is a narcissist or that this person is giving you these red flags, but just take it as the truth. Take it for what it is. The little things. Take time to rest upon your person and delight in every tiny miracle. So while you're healing at this time, just kind of sit back and take gratitude in what you do have. Even if you don't have a love match at this time, there are things around you that you could be grateful for. You still are healing from something that needs to be healed, and healing involves a lot of rest. Time, rest, calmness, nurturing foods, water, good sleep, all the good things, some exercise, some sunlight, and some good conversation with good people, keeping your mind right. So maybe instead of focusing on this F-boy, let's call him, that just kind of is keeping your attention in this place of uncertainty, think about what you want in love, like you have been. The Queen of Cups has been dreaming about, what kind of love she wants with the Ten of Cups. It's kind of like the outcome that she wants at the end of, when she's older. Where does she want to be, when she thinks about love and where she wants to be. But it's telling me to say something, if you have a chance to say what's on your mind and this person comes to you and kind of confronts you because maybe you're not giving in like every other female, this person is used to just getting his way because he's attractive and knows how to give pleasure, I guess, and he has a lot of cups to fill, and he might come to you and ask you, like, why don't you want a cup, and you can just flat out say exactly why. Use your throat, use your voice, your words are important, your thoughts are important to this world. You have something to give back and share with the world. So I would say take time to heal yourself, maybe take back your attention and put it on yourself at this time. And, rest upon your gratitude of what you do have at this moment. And eventually you'll find love that is respectful and that is willing to come to you and be mature about it, where they're just going to tell you exactly what they feel. You don't have to guess if there's, if he's saying good morning to 12 other girls. You don't have to wonder about any other cups being shared. Yeah, it's just saying, cleanse your destiny wings so you can fly more freely. And cleanse the way that you're thinking. Um, Cleanse your body, heal up, because in time you'll get something better. You are growing from the princess to the queen of wands. Like, you are getting even more and more womanly even in your own right. And that comes with smarts as well. And that's what makes someone sexy, is when they have the whole package, right? Once you learn how to just kind of say no, even though you don't want to say no, I think you'll level up even more, and just take back the time and energy that you're spending on wondering about someone else and put it back on yourself. Fill up with the sweetness of life. This is what came out today as well. Joyous nectar. Take time for yourself. Take time to enjoy life. Take time to have some fun and maybe relax. Go to a spa, or have your own spa day at your house. Or maybe sleep a little bit longer than you normally would. Give yourself a little vacation, staycation. Take time to exercise and stretch. Do something well for yourself that involves happiness and joy while you're healing up at this time. You can imagine and you can wonder and you can write down exactly what you want, for the new moons, that comes in, and wishing upon a moon and asking the universe for the love of, your dreams. But you have to be able to articulate what type of love you want. And if you can see the red flags, in front of you and learn how to say no to them, you'll really become a woman of the Queen of the Wands, kind of energy. You'll be able to use your judgment wisely and not get your heart hurt, by some kind of player just because he knows how to throw his wand around and he's good looking. So I would say at this time, take your energy back to yourself. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's needed. It's the yin to your life where you need downtime. So if you haven't been taking a lot of downtime, I would just say love yourself at this time.